Hey guys, so if you're watching this right now in class, it's probably a little silly because I'm probably sitting 10 feet away from you. But if you're watching this at home, hopefully this video will show you all about how to make a good works cited page. Now you might be asking yourself, what on earth is a works cited page? So when you do a research project of any kind, in our case, we're doing a presentation, but if you're doing an essay or some sort of research paper, you need to show where you received your information from. So I'm going to show you how to cite those sources, and I'm going to show you where that falls into your project here in just a moment. So the first thing is we've been researching and looking up different topics, and you have hopefully found your sources already. I'm going to use my example presentation that I've already linked on Schoology for you, and I'm going to start from my works cited. Now you can see a couple of things to note about a works cited page. So the first thing is it's in alphabetical order. So you can see G, M, which is ME, Myers, which is MY, and then S. So it's in alphabetical order. Now, hopefully, if you're using one of the works cited resources that I'm going to provide for you, then that should be pretty easy because it'll do it for you. However, if you to add any websites or other resources later on, you may have to do it manually yourself. So I'm going to try and, as best I can, show you all the little things that I know can and will go wrong sometimes when it comes to looking up your sources and putting them into the works cited document. So the first thing, let's take a look at my first web source. So I'm going to copy that link, and that's going to be important here in just a minute. So I copy it, and let's go to the website just to check that that link still works. It does. It brings me to my article. You can see here's the author's names over here on the left-hand side. And if we go back to my presentation, I have those authors' names put in. Now, if you're lucky and you're using a website that does this for you, then you don't have to really worry about the particular order. When I was in 7th grade, I remember I had to memorize all this. We are going to be using what is called APA citations. Now, I know that some teachers use MLA, and I know that some teachers use Chicago style. I believe most people use that in their history day assignment, but we are using APA. The reason why we're using APA is most colleges and universities, including the University of Delaware, are requiring everyone to use APA on their citations. So we at Cap Calloway have decided that 6th grade all the way up to 12th grade, you should be using your APA citations just to get used to that. So first of all, let's go over here, and I'm going to have that web link again. And here I go. It's a website, which I am assuming most of your web or your resources are going to be. So I click website and I enter the link right here. I'm going to click the little search guy. And this is what I was talking about just a moment ago, in the sense that sometimes you're going to have to enter the work manually. So I can see that there's space here for the author's name. And if there's more than one author, I'll click add contributor. So I would have to go back to this article and write Alan Gill, Rosalind Womack, and Sarah Safranek. And I would put that manually into this information. Now, all the other information, again, publication date access, let's just say today, that'll do it for you. And I would put the website name there as well. Now, that is if I have to do it manually. That's a quote unquote worst case scenario. Let's go back and try to find another website that maybe will work a little bit better for our purposes here in me showing you the example. So give me just one moment to pull that up. So I have this article right here, the mental health benefits of exercise. That's great. So I'm going to copy and paste this link, and then I'm going to need to go back to the beginning of what we were doing previously. And I click my search. This time around, look, the website came up for me. So there's my title, there's the URL, the author's name automatically loaded from the article, which is great. And then the publication date is unknown, and then date accessed today. And let me click cite source, Now I have created another source, and you can see that you can click to copy it, or you can group them however you want. And notice that along the top here, I could do this for a journal article, I could do this for a regular book, I could do this for a report of some sort, an image, and there's other stuff too. Like let's say you conducted an interview with somebody in person. It'll do all of this for you on here. Now, let's just say that I had all of my sources and I'm ready to go. So just like on my works cited page here in the example presentation, it would put them in alphabetical order for me, and then I just download them, copy and paste them into my presentation. And it has this exactly how I want to do it. Now, going back to my example presentation, I didn't use the source that I just used as the example of showing you how to do the works cited, but let's look at one of my pages. So under the heart health, I cite the study from Myers, and I put a comma and the year. So down here on my works cited page, we can see that that information came from this. So you do that whether or not you use a quote or if you're just paraphrasing information. Now, sometimes people I think are afraid to cite information. I don't know if it's because they think that it makes them look less professional, but in fact, it's quite the opposite. So if you have something that's really good information that you found from an article, then just go ahead and cite it, even if you typed it in your own words. So we look at my heart health page. I paraphrase the information here where it says as many as 250,000 deaths per year. And that information came from that article, so I'm giving credit to them and not presenting it as if it's my own idea. And you can see here on my graph, I use this from that same study, so that's why it says source, colon, and then Myers, comma, 2003. So this is what we call a parenthetical citation. Now, you can see this one for sleep, it didn't have an author's name. So I put the study name there and the year it was published. And going up here, I've got this particular source with the multiple authors, so I put a comma in between each one, and then again, I put the publication year. So hopefully this helps you, and if you're having any other troubles, there are many resources online. All you would have to do is just Google free online APA citation generator, and a list of them will come up. I happen to use the top resort, which is called Scribr. I've used citationmachine.net before, and I've used bibme.org before, which is a really good resource as well. So sometimes it comes down to a matter of preference. You might like the website's layout a little bit better on one of these or all of them. So the bottom line is, remember, we want to cite these resources so that we can A, look professional and knowledgeable, and B, so that we can give credit where credit is due at the end of our work. And the works cited page is the very last thing that comes into your presentation.